Hello everybody and welcome to a new Lost ARK video. In today's video we're gonna have a look at why Stoopzz has quit WoW for Lost ARK, and I wanna tell you that a lot of people told me to watch this video and react because like all my friends and stuff like that told me that, man, you have played for so long World of Warcraft and you are ready to quit WoW for Lost ARK. And to be honest with you, I think I already did that, but I want to see also why one of the rank 1 players in PvP in World of Warcraft has quit WoW for Lost ARK. So yeah, let's start.
What's going on, everybody? With the Lost ARK beta just around the corner, I thought there'd be no better time to make this video. I've been playing Lost ARK nearly every single day for the past 3 months, and I've dumped over 400 hours into the game. Now, there is so much misinformation surrounding this game that I wanted to make a video to explain to you my experience so far and give you an idea what the game is like to find out if it's a game for you. Now, this may be a longer video, so I will have timestamps listed below so you can kind of skip around the video. I'll start off the video by going over who this game is for and who it may not be for, and then I'll dive into each of the systems in the game and what the game is like overall in a more in-depth process. Alright, so really quickly, who is this game for? This game is going to be for someone that likes fast-paced PvP and PvE content that's rather difficult. It's also going to be for people that like and enjoy making alts. If you're not a big person into making alts, this may not be the game for you, as they regularly release classes every couple of months, and on top of that, having an alt in this game is an excellent way to make gold, and it will benefit you in the long run. You also may have noticed that this game is an isometric MMO, and I know for some people that may be a turnoff. I can tell you personally, it feels really good in a lot of the fights, and you'll learn about that more later. But also, I had a lot of experience playing games like Warcraft 3, League of Legends, Heroes of Newerth, Heroes of Storm, and other isometric.
So for people that doesn't know what is isometric, you're not seeing your character like in WoW, and you're not controlling your character with WASD and the mouse. You're controlling your character like let's say in League of Legends, where you're clicking, there will go the your character, or you're keeping your movement button pressed all the time and you're moving your cursor, there will go your character. Also, uh, from what I played until now, yes, it's a fast-paced game. It's not like, let's say, uh, I don't know very well. I have played for a little bit like Final Fantasy Combat. It's uh, more steady and stuff like that. But this Lost Ark, it's another kind of combat. It's very fast and it's very nice, to be honest with you.
Games that got me already accustomed to this specific game style. So it may not be something for you, but it is something to keep in mind. This game is also for people that really do like progression. There's a lot of work that goes into your server or account. So a veteran player will really stand out depending on how much time they've spent playing the game versus a newer player. So if you like that long-term progression, you will definitely find it in this game. But if you don't like that feeling of putting in a lot of time or effort into your account, you can still get away and just enjoy the game as a more casual player, but it definitely benefits the player who puts in a lot of time into the game. Now, with it being an isometric MMO, it's also an Eastern MMO.
Sorry, I'm stopping again. So from what we hear here, it's like, it's very simple, and the thing that I really like about this game is like, if you're putting a lot of hours in the game, uh, when people will see you or something like that, they will know that you're a good player, the people that knows the game. And maybe a lot of people will tell me that this is not good for the casual players or stuff like that, but let's be honest, it's an MMORPG, and the thing that you want is like, whenever you're playing more hours and you're doing harder raids, or you're very good at PvP or stuff like that, you would like to people to know that you're good at this game. And people, you know, like, you will want people to know that uh, your progression in this game is not like for nothing. I'm gonna tell you straight away, like for example in World of Warcraft, if you're not doing the mythic ride and you're doing just the heroic ride, like everybody's doing the heroic ride, or you'll find a guy that will just grab his cash, he will pay his stuff, he will pay a boost in hero, he will get his title, and that's it. Here is not that simple, to be honest with you. Like, I know for sure, and I have looked a lot of videos about riding and stuff like that, and about PvP, and to be honest with you, doesn't matter. Like, for PvP, straight away is not pay to win, because you can pay anything for PvP. For PvE, yeah, you can pay some stuff, but doesn't mean that you'll be much better at the game. No, that did not help you at all. Like, you really need to do mechanics, and the mechanics in this game are not simple, to be honest with you. Like, if you want to do the like how it's in World of Warcraft, the mythic content, the riding mythic content, you literally need to do mechanics and stuff like that. Otherwise, doesn't matter your gear at all.
So I know for a lot of people, they have like this anti, I guess I'll just say it, weeb approach to video games, and I don't, I totally respect that. I totally get it. For me, I grew up playing MapleStory and Dragon Ball Z. There's tons of different types of artwork in the game that may be awesome to some people and not so much to others, but I wouldn't say the game is necessarily weeby. It's just something to consider. And finally, the game is free to play, so we'll talk about what that might mean for the game's monetization model at the end of the video. All right, now let's dive into the nitty-gritty stuff. The leveling experience in Lost Ark. The leveling experience in the game is honestly better than most MMOs. There is an obscene amount of cutscenes, a lot of voice acting, and a lot of story to be had on your first time leveling through the game. I wouldn't say the game has the most diverse type of questing, but what I will say is the scenarios and story dungeons that you go through, you will have a lot of oh shit moments when playing the game. It's pretty epic, especially your first time going through it. However, the leveling process isn't necessarily very long. You can get through it in about a day or two, depending on your experience playing the game. But what I will say is that the game is heavily end game focused. So if you're more of a person that's really about the journey while leveling and not so much about the journey when going through the end game, it may not be the game for you. It's not like a new world experience. I would say it's a much more, I wouldn't really know how to compare it to other games, but what I can say is that it's more about the end game more than the experience while leveling, and there's a lot of story to be had at the end game. Now, with the leveling experience, I want to talk about the immersion in the world.
So, what I want to say about leveling, because I think 1 week ago I just leveled my Shadow Hunter on the Russian servers, and I'm not gonna lie you, I really liked the story. Yeah, of course, it's not the same story like in Final Fantasy, and you have a lot of stuff and all that. But all the cutscenes, uh, like if you're keeping attention a little bit to the story and stuff like that, it's really cool. It's really nice, and of course, because we are speaking also about World of Warcraft in this video, it's not comparable. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you, the leveling in World of Warcraft is really boring. Nobody wants it, and that's because it's you don't have anything there. Like, you're just starting at level 1 until level 10. You're in on an island where it's telling you, yeah, it's cool. That part is cool because it's presenting you how is the game and a little bit of the game. But after, you just choose where you want to go if you already have leveled another character. Otherwise, he's putting you straight away in Battle for Azeroth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, for a new player, going straight away in Battle for Azeroth is like, what is going on here? Like, I don't know anything about the game. Like, what's the story in this game? Like, it's showing you some characters that you don't know anything about them. You go straight away, like, in a point where a lot of things just already happen, and I'm understanding. Like, they don't want you to stay too much in the leveling part and to waste. It's not you wasting your time, because if you have a good story and you're really enjoying yourself playing your character and stuff like that, it's not a waste of time. But they made it like this. And also, for an old player, whenever you want to level an alt, it's a pain in the ass. Like, it's not something good. It's not something that you're really enjoying, and that's because you don't have any story. You don't have anything. So that's kind of, let's say in this part, Lost Ark has won. Sorry.
And how that kind of plays out. So what I will say is that Lost Ark has a massive, massive world. There are a ton of continents that will be unlocked over time, and there are also a lot of islands to explore. So when it comes to the open worldness of the game, there is sailing content that exists in the game. You get a boat early on and you will upgrade this ship for different types of content, and you can explore the world. And currently on the version I'm playing, there are over 90 islands that exist in the game, and nearly all of these islands have their own unique storylines, mini games. One of them has like the island of Metis. I don't want to spoil too many of them, but one of them has like a Resident Evil Plasmophobia like mini game where you're going through a haunted mansion and finding out what happened, and you get rewarded for doing these types of islands. So if you are a completionist type of person, you can actually earn a lot of cool rewards and rewards that will benefit you in the end game if that is your type of content, and that is completely open world for the most part. However, the continents themselves are more like Final Fantasy and less like New World. The maps are large, however you will go through portal like things when you go into the next zone, so it's not completely open world. So if you do like open world content, you can find some of it, but it won't be like New World, for example. Now, I know a lot of you guys do watch me for PvP content, and PvP is why I started playing Lost Ark in the first place, because it had an arena mode, and I obviously, playing WoW for so many years, love the idea of a 3v3 arena mode.
What I want to say about the boats and when you upgrade them and stuff like that, it will be a point in the game where we literally need another boat so we can go and explore more of the map, or to unlock the new content. You will need another boat. For example, the icebreaker is the boat that you will need to go to a continent where you need to break some ice and stuff like that. Of course, is the icebreaker. After that, for example, you will need to upgrade one of your boats to go to another continent because you need to pass, let's say, a storm or something like that, and so on. So this is a very cool thing. Also, you have a lot of islands to explore and stuff like that. It's, believe me, it's huge.
Mode. The PvP in this game is very fun. In fact, I would say it's one of the best MMO experiences I've had for PvP in a really, really long time. I would say it's probably one of the best experiences you can find outside of WoW, although I think World of Warcraft PvP currently is just complete ass. But in general, I would say it's a very good experience, but it's rather complex and it won't feel like World of Warcraft. It's like a mixture of a fighting game with some World of Warcraft elements, with some League of Legends elements in terms of how the combat feels. It is a steep learning curve, but you can get over that by watching some guides, and there is a lot of outplay potential. You have solo queue ranked 3v3. You also have 1v1 modes where you have two teams of 3 and you vote who goes out next, and you can 1v3 the entire team. And you also have a leaderboard, end of season rewards, anything that you would come to expect. But more importantly, if you're someone that just likes doing PvP, you do not need to do any type of PvE content at all. In fact, you can start PvPing, I believe, at level 26 or 27, and you don't have to do anything. You get to customize your stats completely in any way that you want, choose your ability layout, and there is no gear required. It's completely equalized. For those of you that just like doing PvP, you can definitely have a lot of fun playing Lost Ark. Now, for those of you interested in PvP, there's also going to be a community-run tournament that will be taking place during the beta, and I'll have some information here on the screen that you can check out, and you can watch this tournament to see what the end game competitive PvP is like if you're interested in that, and you can find more info on that as well in the description. Now, although I got into the game for PvP, I ended up trying out the PvE like 1 month into the game, and I was absolutely hooked. The PvE content in Lost Ark is nuts. It's absolutely nuts, from the Chaos Dungeons, which are like your Diablo-style Rift content, to the Guardian Raids, which is more like Monster Hunter content, to all of the other things that you can do in the game. I won't name them all. There's so much of it to do, especially as the game releases more and more into the tier. And the actual raids themselves are some of the best raids I've ever done. And I know that's quite the statement, but I honestly believe that coming from Mythic Raiding and WoW. Raids in Lost Ark are so fun because, number one, there aren't any add-ons to assist you. Number two, I've been doing them all blind, by the way, which has made it way more enjoyable. My chat makes fun of me a lot for it because they tell me it's going to be easy, and then I spend like 4 hours in the raid, and they'll make these memes of me. But
So the thing is that, like, riding in Lost Ark, it's more fun than World of Warcraft. Like how he said, you don't have the add-ons. Also, we can choose to do it blind, or you can have look at YouTube videos and see guides and stuff like that. But the thing is that whenever a new raid it will be released, you will not have like guides and stuff like that. I don't know, like it's quite hard for the EU NA release, because like the people in Korea and the people in Russia, they are already have done everything. But like from my opinion, like just try and do it without looking at anything on YouTube. Just do it blind. It will be more fun, and you'll have a very good experience doing that.
With that, there are no add-ons, and even if you know the mechanics, it's heavily execution based, so there's a lot of individual responsibility in these raids, and the fights just feel epic. I mean, they genuinely feel epic. I'll show some footage here. We don't have that countering warlord of QB. I think this is a safe spot. I hope so. Yeah. Counter that, Uncle. Encore, you baboon, man! You baboon! More importantly, though, all of the prestigious titles in the games are from the Hell Mode Legion raids, which we'll get at some point, the Heroic Guardian raids. You don't have to know these terms, but these are equalized versions of the content that are extremely challenging with additional mechanics. And overall, I found the game to be very fun. It's like a mixture of Monster Hunter mixed with Final Fantasy and WoW level mechanics, and I think so many of you can find enjoyment in the PvE content in Lost Ark, even if you're not someone that actually likes PvE content. It just feels different in this game, and the combat definitely adds to that. Now, speaking of the combat in Lost Ark, the combat in this game out the gate is crazy. Like right away, it is just, I think other MMOs have decent combat, but the combat in this game is so much fun.
Sorry, I'm interrupting again. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's not comparable. The World of Warcraft combat, the Final Fantasy combat, the Guild Wars combat, everything is not comparable with this combat. Maybe you'll tell me that, yeah, but you know, it's not kind of, you're not seeing the game in the same way like in World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But like, it's not comparable. Like, when you'll play this game and you'll see the combat, you'll be like, oh my god, it's like, I don't know, playing Dragon Ball Z, the fighting game, in this game. Like, it's really crazy, it's really nice, it's smooth, it's fun. It's fun to watch, it's fun to play, and I think that's most important. Like, doesn't matter. For example, in World of Warcraft, everybody's speaking about, oh my god, that spell is doing that and is much stronger, and we need a nerf, and we need a buff, and we need stuff like that. But no, like, they're not paying attention at how the spells are looking, and how fun is that class to play, and if the combat is fun or not. Like, they're straight away focusing on nerfing, buffing, and stuff like that. Like, I know for a lot of people it's very important this, but in the end it's a game, and you want to have fun playing the game, and whenever you're playing the game, you want to feel good. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not that I don't want to be like a jerk or something like that, but after playing this game, it's kind of hard to me to enjoy the combat whenever I'm playing World of Warcraft. It's really hard.
Once you get into the game, you're able to test out various classes that you're going to choose, and there's just like an impact behind your abilities. You really hear the sounds when you... It's hard to explain. You just have to try it for yourself, but a lot of people talk about how New World has great sound, and... You'll see. That's the best way I can phrase it. You'll absolutely love the combat in this game if you are someone that is accustomed to the camera angle, and it makes all of the content, the leveling, the PvP, and the PvE just feel that much more epic, and the visual effects are pretty crazy as well. So the combat in this game is definitely a plus, and it will be the highlight of the game for a lot of people. It's definitely not going to be the game for people that like a more minimalist level of class customization. There are a lot of different builds and things that you can do. You have gems, you have runes, you have tier set bonuses, you have like different little talent trees that you can enhance through your gear. There's so much that goes into the game in terms of customization. I wouldn't say it's like as crazy looking as PoE with that galaxy brain map. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. So if you're not used to that type of level of customization, it may be a bit overwhelming at first, but I do believe, for me at least personally, it does add to the game. It makes it a lot more interesting trying out different builds for various classes. Now, really quickly, I did want to touch on the casual content that exists in the game, because I know for a lot of people, you don't have hours to spend playing video games every day anymore. And there is a lot of casual content to be had. I did touch on the idea that you can go out and explore these various islands, and there's progression systems there. There's also progression systems within your housing system, and you can make a lot of gold by really exploring that system. Additionally, you can really deck out your estate by adding in mazes. People go crazy with this stuff. They have paintings, statues that they've earned. Also, they make them thematic based on the season. I mean, it's pretty crazy in that aspect. And there's also zone completion that benefits your character. That's not something that I regularly do because it's not something that I'm interested in. But if it is something you're interested in, you can have a lot of fun in Lost Ark doing those types of things. All right, I know that was a lot of information really fast, but let's talk about the monetization model and the progression model in Lost Ark, because there's so much misinformation out there that I want to get this info out there so you can make the decision for yourself and so you can understand it for yourself. First of all, everything I'm about to say is completely subject to change, because in the version I'm playing,
Guys, I don't want to be rude or something. We are not gonna look at the monetization because we already spoke about monetization, and I don't. I think this, like, the last update that we had about monetization was after this video was made, and it will be like a misinformation and stuff like that. So we're just gonna skip straight away at progression. I'm I know he put a lot of time in the video and stuff like that, but it will be like a misinformation, and I just have another video where you can see the updated thing and stuff like that.
as gold. Keeping all of that in mind, I want to talk about the progression system and gold making. In Lost Ark, everything that you do in the game, especially as you get into tier 2 and tier 3 content, will start to generate gold. In fact, in Korea, one of the issues that they have is an inflation issue because of all of the gold printing, not because of the WoW token, again, because that's
Also, this thing that he's saying right now, it will be resolved. Like, they already said something about, for example, before, whenever you wanted extra loot or something like that, you will getting with the purple gems or the blue gems. Sorry. Now they added that you can buy that with gold because of the all the printed gold, and it's too much gold in the game. They want to make people to spend their gold. So also this stuff here, it will be fixed. I don't know for sure if that is already updated.
an exchange of gold. Inflation happens when you print gold. And the printing of the gold comes from these endgame dungeons, any quests that you do, and any raids that you do. And because of this, they have to create gold sinks in the game to fight back against this inflation that's currently happening. Now, getting your gear in Lost Ark is not RNG based whatsoever in terms of your actual tier sets. You go into the raid, you know how many mats you're going to get per week, and then you craft your set. However, upgrading your gear is where the RNG lies in the game, as it's an upgrade system similar to BDO. However, in BDO, it's much more punishing. If you've ever played BDO, when you fail an upgrade, the item breaks down and you're kind of screwed and pissed off. And in fact, there's a pity system that exists in the game that if you fail enough times in upgrading your gear, especially as you start getting to the higher item level, you will automatically get a free 100% upgrade if you failed enough times, because the game essentially feels bad for you for failing so many times. One of the things that I wanted to talk about in Lost Ark that I learned kind of the hard way is that item level is not the end all be all in Lost Ark. And in fact, it's one of the least effective ways of progressing your character. There are other things outside of item level that progress your character, like runes, skill points, and other systems like that that are server and account wide that will benefit all of your characters. I'll dive more into this.
The item level is important. Like, if you want to unlock, for example, you'll finish your story, your max level, it will tell you in a point that you need that item level in order to unlock the next zone and to play the next zone. You go to the next zone, You, whenever you finish there the story and do your stuff, you'll need another cap of item level. I don't remember, I think it's 460 the first one and 600 the second one, and I think 1000 and something the next one. But anyway, for I think for the release, for our release in Europe and NA, I think we have until tier 2, that means 600 gear score.
In a future video, because it requires me to spend more than just a whatever how long this video will be to discuss all of these different avenues of progressing your character. But what I will say is that's a general understanding of how the game works overall, and I hope it gives you some insight into how the monetization and the gearing and progression system works in Lost Ark. Now, with saying all of that, overall, I would say Lost Ark is one of the best MMOs I played in a really long time. It's a damn good game despite some of the cons that do exist in the game currently. Is it the game for everybody? No. I'm not a tribalist Andy that will tell you you have to play this game, and if you don't like this game, you don't know what good games are. That's not going to be me. But I honestly do think some of the pros heavily outweigh the cons in terms of the upgrading and monetization, because the content in the game is just that damn good. And I will be covering the beta on November 4th, so if you have any questions whatsoever, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can check out my live stream that I stream every day on at 12 p.m. PST, somewhere here on the screen. Additionally, I will have links to other content creators and other people that I've learned from that have reliable information, because I did struggle finding that information when I first got into the game. Now, for those of you that are wondering when I'll be covering Final Fantasy or Guild Wars 2, I will get into that in a future video. And if any of that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing so I can stop lying to my mom about my sub numbers. It's starting to get really embarrassing. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
Okay guys, this was, I know this is, I think it will be the longest video that I had until now. I'm gonna leave down below a link to his video. You can go subscribe to his channel, like the video, subscribe to his, follow his Twitch. I think he's streaming almost every day Lost ARK, and he's a legend. He's very good. Like, I really like his content. Also, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, to hit the like button, and if you want, you can find me also. I'm gonna leave also a link down below. You can find me on Twitch. I'm kind of streaming 2-3 times a week, but I'm streaming also other games there. You can find me on twitch.tv/elhondrotv, and that's it for today, and see you on the next one. Peace.